This is my Nintendo Switch, and I find it bland, boring, gray, and just black. It's just boring. So what I did was I bought stickers, making it look like a Super Famicom. And it does look nice. But there's only one problem. Whenever I place my Switch console into my protective case, these stickers would just wear out. It just looks plain ugly. So here's what I did. I went on Amazon and bought myself this new white case. Now I have no idea how this white case should be installed on my Nintendo Switch. It's just taking a dive into the deep end. But I've been known for customizing consoles, so this should be a fairly easy job, right? The package comes in a clear case. It contains the Nintendo Switch cover, the Joy-Con covers, some bolts, and some colored buttons. Now these resemble more of a Super Famicom look. So let me show you in a short video what a console customization for a Nintendo Switch looks like and what you have to do. The first thing you need to have is some handy tools like these. The Switch has cross bolts on top and on the bottom. One thing is that all these bolts are very tightly screwed. The Nintendo Switch can only be opened with a tri-wing screwdriver. I matched up the case to see where the other bolts need to be loosened. And when you open your Nintendo Switch, you'll see it looks like a tablet. Now here's the game card slot, and here's the quick release stand. It's tightened with 2 cross bolts and 1 tri-wing bolt. Now this is fairly easy, you just have to place the game card slot onto the new case. Pop that sucker out. Haha, did you see that backflip? Place this mechanism onto the Aftermarket standard. These are 2 cross bolts and 1 tri-wing bolt. And there you have it, the case can stand again. Now here comes the easy part, just put on the Aftermarket case back on the Switch console and put in all the screws back again. Now I'm using the cross bolts that came with the Aftermarket case. The reason why is that I hate those tri-wing screws. And there you have it, the case console is on and it works properly. Now comes the hard part. Again, the Joy-Con is fit together with tri-wing bolts. I want to add that I am going blind into this customization. As you can see, there are data cables running inside the Joy-Con. Once you open the Joy-Con yourself, you'll see the screws that need to be unscrewed. What you need to do is remove the battery. After you remove the battery, you will see 3 screws that you need to unscrew. Now my advice is, if you're going in blind, take complete pictures of the original layout. And that way you can always look back if you forget something. Now remove the innards and you are left with the outer shell casing. And this is fairly easy, you just have to put the original button layout onto the Aftermarket Joy-Con outer shell. Now there is one data cable you have to put back into the Aftermarket case. And from now on, it's just placing back the innards into the Aftermarket Joy-Con case. Now my advice is to use a tweezer to hold down these very small parts, so you can easily screw down those bolts inside the case. And it's also very handy to hold down data cables. And there you have it, the replaced left Joy-Con case. Always test your buttons if they function correctly and if they're squishy enough like the original. And voila, it all works. Now the right Joy-Con differs a little bit from the left Joy-Con. Open up very softly and it's just replacing the original innards towards the Aftermarket shell case. Now I did this in complete silence for concentration purposes. Be very patient and take your time. As you can see, the innards are a bit different from the left Joy-Con. think this is electrostatical paper that you need to transfer into the aftermarket case. Just place the buttons again in the case. Place those rubbers. Check if the buttons do feel squishy enough. And place the original rubber tapper underneath the PCB motherboard. Now I use a tweezer because the space is very narrow underneath the PCB. Now I did manage to pull out some data cables, which is fairly annoying. Now this part cost me most of my time. You have to place those spring coils straight up in order to place the Z button back again. And this part was frustrating as well. The data cable came loose from the PCB, but the only real option was just to unscrew everything again and use a tweezer and lock it down manually. Then place the second shell back again. Hold down the second shell because you need to reattach an electrical cable back onto the PCB. I'm using my tweezer again to lock down that bolt. And here come the spring coils, and this time I managed to do it in one try. So there you go, reattach every bolt back to its original state. The buttons do feel squishy like the original. Reattach it back to your Switch console, and everything works just fine. So there you have it, it's done. So there you have it, Nintendo Switch case is done. Was it worth it? That depends on your own skills and technique. If you found it nerve-wracking, I wouldn't recommend this. Just get yourself a rubber casing, or what I did, just place on some stickers. What did I learn from this experience? That Nintendo is a complete dick butt for making and opening this console so hard. But if you're very adventurous like me and you want something else for your Nintendo Switch console, this might be the option for you.